section is irregular proceedings. So the Indian criminal law, which deals with the matter relating to violation of prohibited social conduct, strives to deliver justice by punishing the guilty and providing relief to the aggrieved party. Now section 508, if any magistrate not empowered by law to do so the following things, namely to issue a search warrant under section 97, to order under section 174 the police officer to investigate. So section 508 of BNSS is referred to cure 9 kinds of irregularities that are provided they are caused erroneously and in good faith. The further qualification is implied in this section that the irregularity should not cause failure to justice. Please underline. So there are 9 kinds of irregularities that are stated. Now section 509. So if any magistrate not empowered by the law in this behalf does any of the following things. First, attaches or sells under section 85. Please underline. Next, issue search warrant for a document, parcel or anything in the custody of the postal or telegraph authority. Next, demand security to keep peace. Now, demand security to keep good behavior. Discharges a person lawfully bound to be in good behavior. If cancels a bond to keep the peace. Make an order for maintenance. Make an order under section 152 or as to local nuisance. Now prohibits under section 162 the repetition or continuance of public nuisance. Makes an order under part C or part D of chapter 11. Take cognizance of an offence under subclause C of subsection 1 of section 210. Tries an offender summarily. So section 509 of BNSS lists down 17 irregularities which is to be committed by any magistrate who result in vitiating the proceedings. No question of good faith here. To put it in another way, these are illegalities which vitiates the proceeding. Legally, such proceedings have no existence. In the case of Ranjit Srivastava versus State of UP, the Allahabad High Court held that it is clear from the provisions of subsection 508 and 509 of BNS that the legislature has classified defects or irregularities into 2 categories. First is curable, which does not vitiate the proceeding. Second is irregulable, which vitiates the proceedings. In the case of Dilip Kumar Kundu and others versus Madan Chandra Dey and others, in this case, a division bench of Calcutta High Court in a complaint pertaining to an offence under various provisions of IPC conducted that the complainant's examination on firm's affirmation is not a need of taking cognizance, and the magistrates issuing the summon without examining the complainant on solemn affirmation is just an irregularity. Please underline. So whenever a complaint case is registered, the magistrate has to call the complainant for the solemn affirmation. On oath he will be examined, and after that only the accused person will be called. Next is proceeding in a wrong place. So no finding, sentence or order of any criminal court shall be set aside. Please underline. No finding, sentence or order of any criminal court can be set aside merely on the ground that the inquiry, trial or any other proceedings in the course of which it has arrived or passed took place in the wrong session, division, district, subdivision or any local area, unless it appears that such error has in fact occasioned a failure of justice. So for example, you have to be tried in Karnataka, but you are tried in some other place. You are tried in Kerala or you are tried in Tamil Nadu. So no finding, sentence or order that is passed will be set aside merely on the ground that the proceedings took place in some other place. Okay. Now non-compliance with the provisions. So if any court before which the confession or any statement of an accused person is recorded or purported to be recorded under section 183 or 316 is tendered or have been received in evidence, finds any of the provisions of either of this section have been not complied with the magistrate while recording the statements, it may, notwithstanding anything contained in section 94 of BSA, take evidence in regard to such compliance and may, if satisfied that such compliance has not injured the accused in his defense on the merit, and he has duly made the statements recorded in admit such statement, then the provisions of this section shall also apply to appeal, reference and revision. Please underline. Next is effect of omission to frame or absence. So no finding, sentence or order by the court of competent jurisdiction shall deemed invalid. Please underline. No finding, sentence or order by a court of competent jurisdiction shall deem invalid merely on the ground that no charge was framed, or on the ground that there was error, omission, irregularity in framing of charges, including any misjoinder of charges, unless in the opinion of the court of appeal, confirmation or revision, a failure of justice has been in fact occasioned thereby. So only if there is a failure of justice, then only it will affect, otherwise it will not affect. So if the court of appeal, confirmation or revision is of the opinion that there is a failure of justice, please underline the word failure of justice, has in fact been occasioned, it may, in the case of any omission to frame charge, order that the charge to be framed and the trial to be recommenced from the point immediately after framing of charge. For example, you have committed dacoity and the charge was framed for theft. So in that case, what will happen? The charge is framed in a wrong section. Then in case of appeal, you can tell that there is a failure of justice and the charges need to be reframed. So in the case of any error, omission or irregularity in any charge, direct a new trial. Please underline. Direct a new trial to be held upon the charge frame in whatever manner as it deems fit, provided that the court is of the opinion that the fact of case as such that not valid charge could be preferred against the accused in respect of the fact proved, it shall quash the conviction. Now findings and sentence when reversible by the reason of error. So when the findings will be reversed by the reason of error, subject to the provisions herein contained, no finding, please underline. No finding, sentence or order passed by the court of competent jurisdiction shall be reversed, altered by the court of appeal, confirmation, revision on account of any error, omission or irregularity in the complaint, summon, warrant, proclamation, order, judgment or any other proceedings before or during the trial or in the inquiry of the proceedings under this Sanhita, or any error or any irregularity in any sanction for the prosecution, unless the court is of the opinion that the failure of justice has been occasioned thereby. So only if the court feels that there is a failure of justice, in that case only the findings or the sentence can be reversed. So in determining whether any error, omission, irregularity in any proceeding under this Sanhita or any error, irregularity in any of the sanction for the prosecution has occurred, the failure of justice, the court shall have the regard to the fact whether the objection could and should have been raised at the earlier stage of the proceeding or not. Now defect or error not to make an attachment unlawful. So no attachment made under this Sanhita shall deem to be unlawful, nor shall the person making same be deemed to be a trespasser on the account of such defects or want of form in the summon, conviction or writ of attachment, any other proceedings that are related thereto. Okay.